During the gold rush, the chime of a metallic gong was a familiar sound along the Feather River and in Butte County's Chinatown. It's one of the oldest places of worship in Northern California. John Bartell here, making a little pit stop at Oroville's Chinese Temple.
Anybody could come in here. It's the temple of many gods and goddesses. There's a Buddhist influence, there's a Confucian influence, but it was basically a Taoist temple.
The front entrance to the Oroville Chinese Temple was built with 2 doors, the second being a threshold to keep evil spirits out.
And the reason for the threshold is you have to pick your feet up to enter the temple. But evil spirits have no knees and they can't come into the temple.
As you cross the threshold into the temple, tour guide Gaylord Grams will point out the prayer boards that hang overhead.
One of special interest is this blue one right over my head here, which is dated 1863, which makes it the second oldest Chinese artifact in North America.
1863 was when the original Chinese temple was built in Oroville. After a fire, the temple was rebuilt with brick to serve the growing number of Chinese immigrants looking for the newly discovered gold in the Feather River.
And for 4 years or so, they found over $1 million a year in the 1870s.
Mining was tough for the Chinese. They fought discrimination, and their gold profits were heavily taxed.
So it was a large amount of money that the government extracted from the Chinese workers to allow them to come here.
Despite the discrimination and taxation, the Chinese built 7 different buildings on the temple grounds, which served different religions and housed priceless artifacts brought over from China, like this cast iron incense burner.
Quite special in the fact that it is the only one of its kind in North America.
The fact that these artifacts are still around is quite amazing. A flood in 1907 wiped out much of Chinatown.
And there was 5 feet of water and silt in here, and it left this building unusable.
The Chinese miners were able to remove and preserve many of the items in the temple, but the building remained empty until the 1940s. That's when descendants of the miners talked the city of Oroville into turning the temple into a museum.
The Chan family continued to pay the taxes on this property, so it wasn't repossessed by the city.
Today, the Chinese temple serves as a reminder of the hard work and hardship that the early Chinese immigrants experienced during the gold rush. From Oroville's Chinese Temple, I'm John Bartell. Hope to see you on the Backroads.